everybody, thanks for joining me today on my channel. My name is Chris with Kristen's Crafts, and today I am bringing you the 9th process video for the Confessions of a Paper Addict 20 Days of Cut Files. Today's prompt is foliage or leaves. So I went just a few minutes ago, and unfortunately it broke when I was taking it off my mat, but that's okay. I can cover it up. And sorry, my cat is knocking things off my desk. Anyways, I cut this little berry leaf off, and this is going to be my foliage. Now, I ended up cutting it, instead of using cardstock, I used just pattern paper because I really wanted a pop of red, but I wanted to have the pattern as well. And then I have these two photos. These are of my grandmother and my daughter. So this is from 1988, and she has long passed, but I thought this would be a great layout to have of her with her grandmother. So I just wanted to, actually it's her great-grandmother, and she's wearing her little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer outfit. This would have been her second Christmas. And I think I'm going to go ahead, I want to trim these down. I'm not going to trim a lot because I still want to show a little bit of the background to show that, you know, her chair with her lace doilies that she had crocheted herself, you know, and some of the decor. But I don't think I'm going to lose anything if I cut it down to like 4 by 4. And same thing with this one. I have my sister and her old boyfriend in the corner. But I really want my grandmother in here. So I think I can, again, take it off the majority. And even if I have to have Frank cut out, I'd rather have my grandmother, who's the focus of the photo. So what I need to find is a good background paper. Now, I'm using Echo Park A Very Merry Christmas because it's retro. And because these are pictures from 1988, I thought the retro look would be really good. So I just need to find something that will pop off the background but still give that retro feel. And I just used this one, I think, the other day, so I'm not going to use that. Or I think I looked at it but didn't use it. This is the one I was kind of thinking of. I like how this one looks. So this is kind of my first choice. And on the back is the sleighs. And I think it gets lost with the Santa sleighs. But I'm going to put this piece of paper to the side. It does come with doubles. I like this one, but I'm not feeling the distressed look of it. But now this side, I do like the ornaments. It's kind of fun and whimsical. So I'm going to put this side over. I know we won't want the red stripes, and those are just numbers. Again, I don't think I want the worn. And I really don't want snow because we're looking at Christmas. This would have been from Christmas Eve. All right, so I think that's the end of them. So I got to make a decision between this one here and I do like that it's her blue. When I put this picture on here, I like that it brings out the blue of her shirt and the red of her shirt. Versus on here, it doesn't have the blue in it. And I like how it makes my grandmother had very white hair. I kind of like how that makes that pop. So I think I'm going to lean towards doing the blue. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward. I'm going to finish picking out the little pieces from the cut file. And I'm going to get it adhered down to the paper and cut off the branding strip and cut these down, and we'll see where we go from there. Be right back. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and took all of the little cut file pieces off that didn't come off when I pulled it off the mat. I decided not to glue the wreath down to the paper only because I wasn't sure how I was going to nestle the photos in, and I didn't know if I was going to need to tuck them under. So I wanted to wait until I had that figured out. Now I knew that where the cut file had broke was going to be under the photo, so I wasn't too concerned about that. So I was able to go ahead and cut both the pictures down to 4x4. And when I do that, I usually look at my creative memories and I line it up using the 4-inch mark at the top of the cutter and kind of move it like a frame on the photo to see if I cut at certain places what it will, I can visualize it. So if you ever are concerned about that, just kind of lay it on your trimmer and kind of shift it like a slide ruler kind of a thing, so you can kind of see where the picture would end up being as you slide it based on the ruler. So I decided I want to go ahead and overlap these photos. Now it is going to cover up my sister and her boyfriend, but they are in other photos, so I'm not worried about that. Again, this is going to go into my daughter's album, so it's just a picture of her and her great-grandmother, and this is a special photo for her. So that is where the focus needed to be on, not on the others that were in the background. So I went ahead and I glued the two together, and then once I knew where I wanted them to go, I stuck them and nestled them into the cut file, and now I'm just kind of tacking the cut file down to the paper. Now I wanted to show you guys, because all of the other cut files that I've done so far, I've backed them all off camera. This one I'm just using the cut file by itself. I'm not doing any backing. So if you don't want to take the time to do that, you can still do it just with a basic cut. To add a little pizzazz, use the pattern paper. If that's not something you like, go ahead and do, plain paper. There's tons of tutorials out there showing how you can alter the cut files, with watercolors and things like that. I'm just here going with a basic cut of paper and putting it on the layout. So I went ahead and used some of the stickers from the sticker sheet. I grabbed that giant ornament, a wreath, and the Merry Christmas, and I'm going to put that in the upper right-hand corner, upper left-hand corner with the photo of my grandmother. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm putting this jar of candy. And the reason I chose that is because at her house, she always had a jar of those hard candies at her house. And that brings back memories of me going over there. And she would have still had those at the time that my daughter would have gone. They would have been the ones that had like the hard candy ribbons and things like that in there. So definitely a memory of me growing up. And then I stuck the Rudolph on top of that just to mimic my daughter's little onesie that she was wearing, and then put the word joy, because again, this did bring joy. Now I went with some sequins around, and where the berries would have been in the cut file, I just put one sequence in each of those berries. And now I decided it was still looking a little plain, so I took a 1/2 inch off of the top and the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and mat it on this green paper that was also from Echo Park, but from a different collection. I'm going to gut out the center of it, and because it's a nice green, I may want to use it for other items. And once I have that done, the last thing I'm going to do is grab my Rosie Studios alphas that I've had sitting on my desk. I'm going to grab a label that's from Pink Paisley. It's from the Yuletide collection, and I'm going to stick that. I had originally thought I was going to use it as a journaling spot, and instead it's going to hold the word Oma, and I'm going to use those alphas to spell that out. I will grab that heart and stick it with the candy jar and Rudolph. And then the last thing I'm going to do is up above, I'm going to put 1988 and then a couple of the little plus signs to bring some of that gold up to the upper left-hand corner. You can see here I'm just kind of moving it around to try and find a good spot for it. And in the end, I thought it looked better under the picture of my daughter and her grandmother together. So let me remind you to check out everyone who's playing along in the description box below. I will have the links to all their channels for who's playing along today. In addition, I have the link to the Etsy shop where you can find these cut files right now until the 19th US or the 20th in New Zealand. They will be 25% off the Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy shop. Also, if you check out their Facebook group, there is free cut files there as well. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.